guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of today's video, I will be filming pretty much an everyday makeup routine. So if you are interested, just keep on watching. My makeup has pretty much changed ever since I made the last video a couple months back. So everything from like foundation, concealer have changed completely. Some of the things that I do take into consideration while doing my makeup is that my skin is, for one, really dry because of the weather outside. I have still acne scars. I will be filming a skincare routine, but I still do have acne scars and some discoloration on my skin. If I'm looking that way, it's because I have a mirror. I do have some discoloration on my cheeks. This side is actually a little bit worse than this side. So as you can see right here, I have all the acne scars from all of the years that I've dealt with active breakouts. And then I have some on this area as well, and then just a little bit on my chin. And then of course I haven't plucked my eyebrows, but that's totally fine. I'll make it work. Let's just go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I do is actually apply my moisturizer. I highly encourage you guys to take a look at your skincare routine before you start your makeup, because I used to never pay attention to this, and it's made all the difference in the world in my face and how my makeup applies and things like that. I use the Curology moisturizer. Of course, I have my face that's already cleansed, and I use a Curology cleanser as well. So now I'm just going to apply the moisturizer. You're going to see how my cheeks turn really red because I do have a little bit of rosacea as well. And then of course I'm using my camera, so you're gonna see all the imperfections on my face, but that's totally fine because I want this to be realistic, and I don't have any filters on this video, so it's just literally gonna show how I try to cover up my acne scars as best as I can. Alright, so now that I have my moisturizer, I always now apply sunscreen. So one of the things that has not changed is the sunscreen that I use, and I use the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. I absolutely love this sunscreen, and I love it because it doesn't leave like a white cast on your face. The reason why I personally apply sunscreen before my makeup is because, considering that I do have acne scars and dark spots, I don't want them to get darker or worse, and I feel like it has helped lighten up my scars and things like that. So of course, if it works, I'm going to keep on doing it. So I only apply like a pea-sized amount on my finger, and then I just pretty much put it on my cheeks mostly, where I have all of my, I don't have active breakouts anymore, but where I have my acne scars, and on my nose and on my forehead. And I bring it down on my neck as well. Okay, and so considering that it is really cold outside, my lips tend to dry up really quickly, and so I just like to apply this on my lips. Sometimes I just use it as a lipstick too because it has like this pink tint to it and I really like it. Alright, so now that I have applied that on my lips, as you can see, I pretty much look really moisturized already. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is apply the Tarte primer. And I have a sample of it as well. I decided to try it out because I saw Desi Perkins' video and how she gets like pretty much just a flawless look on her face if you have texture. She highly recommended this, and so I got a sample of it. Luckily, the worker at Sephora wasn't stingy with it, so I got quite a lot. And I've used it quite a bit. So I'm just going to apply this on my cheeks, because that is where I have the most texture. And then I do have texture on my chin, so I'm going to apply it there as well. Alright, so now that my skin is nice and primed, I'm going to go ahead and use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I really love this concealer. I used to use the NARS concealer, but I feel like this one works better. I have the color Fair Light Neutral, which is number 16, letter N. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this on my cheeks, and I do this because I like to cover up my acne scars before I apply my foundation, because I just feel like I get better coverage that way. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, I'm not a makeup guru, but this is what works for me and what I feel like gives me that flawless look. So I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge and then just kind of lightly pat it, and I do pat it as light as I can so that way the concealer doesn't soak all into the Real Technique sponge. And then I just go on over to the other side and do the same exact thing. Sometimes I do like to go back in with some more because I feel like I could cover up my acne scars a little bit better. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and let the concealer basically get a little bit more dry. So while that's just setting, I'm going to go ahead and work on my eyebrows. As you can tell, they are literally not sisters, they're cousins. So this one's my favorite eyebrow, I say, because it has a little hair spiking up right here. But as you can tell right here, it's just sad. It's just looking a little sad right here. There's like no little pelitos. The products that I do use are the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the color medium brown. And then I use the number 12 Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencil. Eyebrows are looking a little crazy right now, but to clean it up, I used to never do this, but ever since I started doing this trick that a lot of makeup gurus do, and I don't know why I didn't do, is basically just clean it out with concealer and carve them out to just clean up all the little imperfections. So I'm actually going to use a Wet n Wild brush that I got from the Dollar Tree, and it's my favorite brush to use to conceal my eyebrows. Alright, so my eyebrows are pretty much done after basically 5 years later. So I just bring down the concealer or put a little bit on my sponge and then just conceal my eyelids. Okay, so once I'm done concealing my eyelids, I grab a Morphe M504 brush, which is basically this little poofy thing right here. And then I grab the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil Powder in the color Original. And I basically just powder on my eyelids because I do tend to crease there and I don't want that to happen. And I feel like doing this is so much better because if the concealer is tacky and you go straight into your eyelid with the eyeshadow, it's just gonna crease all over the place. And then also, like I mentioned, my eyebrows are probably not going to be exactly the same, but that's totally fine. Like I mentioned before, they're cousins, not sisters. So now I'm going to go in with my favorite purchase that I made, which is this palette right here. I absolutely love this palette. I've actually never splurged on a palette before, or have never been excited or left an alarm to purchase one, and I'm really glad that I did because I am more of a neutral gal. I don't go crazy with colors, and this palette is literally like, it has my name written all over it because these are colors that I would wear absolutely all the time. I would usually be the person to go in for these colors right here, or just this one in general, but I have even played with this pink one right here. Basically all the glitters, which is so much fun, and it's easy for me to use because I still personally consider myself a beginner, but these colors are so easy to work with and the formula is just amazing. And I don't have any other palette. I literally just use this one and I think it was a great purchase. Alright, so what I'm going to go ahead and do, you guys are probably going to laugh at me, but I don't care. Because I only use one brush for literally my entire eyeshadow. So everything from like blending out my color to doing a cut crease, I just use with one brush, or I go in with the Dollar Tree brush that I used in the beginning to conceal my eyebrows. But I'm going to use the Morphe M330 brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and lightly tap the Soothe color down here, and I just start from the outside and work my way in. Alright, so now that I've done that, I think I'm going to have a little bit of fun with the colors, and I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Poet pink shade right here. It's really, really pretty, and then I'm just going to put it on the outer corner and then just work my way in again. I've been on the hunt for some more brushes, but there's so many out there that I personally get overwhelmed and I don't know what brushes to get. So if you guys have any recommendations on what eye brushes, eyeshadow brushes, whatever they're called, to use, please recommend them down below, because like I mentioned, I'm overwhelmed, and when I see all of the brushes in store, I'm like, I don't know which are good or which I should splurge on. If they're a little bit on the pricier side, I don't mind as long as they work really well. I heard that Morphe brushes are really good, but there's so many and I do not know which essential brushes to purchase. So let me know what you guys use and what you would recommend me to use. I pretty much use Poet throughout my entire eyelid now, and I'm going to go ahead and use the second color next to it. And I am going to focus this color more so on the bottom side or on the crease area, and I'm not going to work it up too much, only because I don't want all the color to go all the way up, and I'm just going to keep it down on my actual eyelid. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is grab this color Aura, which is the second color up. I like to go in with my finger and just put that in the inner corners, basically almost doing like a cut crease, but I personally like to use my finger. I think my eye is done. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean it up. And then the last step that I do like to do, because I personally suck at doing eyeliner, I have found this trick that works so much better for me. I use this Wet n Wild brush that I found at the Dollar Tree as well. It's like a really thin, fine brush, and I go in with this black memory color, just lightly dab it into the color, and then I pretty much just make my wing eyeliner. I just press right here on the outer corner. As you can see, I just made the line, and then I do the same thing on the other side, and I pretty much just bring it in, and that's exactly how I do my eyeliner now, and it has worked so much better for me. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up both of my eyes, and then I'll continue with the rest of my makeup. Alright, so now that my eyelids are done, I'm going to go ahead and use the Frankie Rose Cosmetics and put that all throughout my face. The reason why I like this foundation is because I did used to use a NARS foundation, but it was just a little bit too on the oily side for me. I did really like it, but with this foundation, you can definitely build it up if you want more of a full coverage, and it just worked really well on my skin. Well, I'm going to go ahead and apply more of the Bare foundation right on my hand. So I use a full pump of that, and then I use about half a pump of the China Silk one, and I just mix the two colors together to create my perfect shade. Alright, so now that I'm done with my foundation, you might still see a little bit of my imperfections showing through. By imperfections, I mean my acne scars, but honestly, I've learned to embrace that, and it's totally fine with me. I do know that there are more full coverage foundations that I could use to completely actually cover that up, but personally, I do not like the cakey feel on my face, and I feel like this foundation does the job that I personally want. But I have heard good things about the Huda Beauty foundation, so if you want more of a full coverage to completely cover up your acne scars, maybe I encourage you to use that one. But for me, like I mentioned, this one works totally fine. Alright, so now that I'm done with my foundation, I'm going to go ahead and use the same Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and just put that under my eyes. What I personally like about this concealer is that a little bit really does go a long way. I know that I personally watch some videos and I can see them making like 4 lines right under their eye. But personally, like as you can tell right now, this eye already looks so much more brighter than this one, and I did not use a lot. And then the rest I just put on my chin area like I mentioned. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye. Alright, and then right after I conceal my under eye, I go back in with a Morphe M504 brush and the Bare Mineral Veil powder, and I just lightly pat that and swipe it right under my eye so that it doesn't crease. And then right after that, I pretty much just powder my entire face lightly and just pat everything The reason why I do this is because once I apply the contour onto my cheeks, the foundation does tend to move around if I don't set my face properly with powder. And of course, if I do that and the foundation does move, you're gonna see my acne scars a lot more, and I don't want that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Morphe R41 brush and then use the color Poet right here, lightly pat that and just put it right under my eye. All right, so now that I finished my eyes, I'm gonna grab the Morphe R14 brush and I'm gonna use this Dior palette that was sent to me, and I absolutely love it, and I have used it a ton of times and I'm still not to the pan yet, which is great. So I'm gonna use this contour color right here and put it right on my face, and then I'm gonna go in with the darker color right here and contour it a little bit more. All right, so right after that, I grabbed this Artistry Studio palette, go in with the same brush, but I did clean it out a little bit. Grab the blush and I just put it right on my cheeks. All right, and then I would highlight right now, but honestly, I don't highlight all the time, but I'm pretty much done with my makeup look. All I'm gonna do is just set everything with this Morphe setting mist that I absolutely love. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and apply my mascara right after that. And then sometimes I do get foundation on my eyebrows, so what I do is go back in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills pencil and just brush out my eyebrows, and I feel like it just takes off that excess foundation that I had. And then I'm going to go ahead and of course apply my lipstick. I use the Fenty Beauty lip gloss and I absolutely love this lip gloss. I feel like it just looks like a lip balm, but of course prettier. Okay, and that is pretty much the end of this video. I would apply on falsies right now, but there's no reason for me to because I'm not going out anywhere, so I'm not going to do that. But if you want to, of course you can, because that's what I do, only if I were to be going out. Alright guys, so that is my entire everyday makeup routine. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more videos, just comment them down below and I'll be sure to make them for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.